Hello everyone. Recently, while understanding molecular cuisine, I came across an article about such a miracle powder called transglutaminase. It is also called meat glue. I will show you how it works using the example of meat, beef, and pork. If this powder is mixed with water, you get a sort of glue with which you can securely glue the meat together. And if you fry it, you get sort of a hybrid steak. But it works not only with meat. Therefore, today we will prepare a 3-fish roll, which is simply impossible to make without this powder. I ordered a very expensive package with elite varieties of fish for this. Let's unpack it. So, the first type of fish is halibut. The second one is tuna. And the third one is salmon. Let's start with tuna. We open it up and take it out of the package. Here we have a clean fillet. We cut it into strips lengthwise. After that, we cut it into cubes. It's good that the tuna is still slightly frozen, and it's very easy to do this exactly. Sprinkle some salt on the bottom of the gastronomy pan. And put the tuna cubes on top. On top of that, another small layer of salt. And we turn over the pieces so that the salt sticks evenly on all sides. Cover it up with a lid and put it into the fridge. Next up, we have salmon. And this is already in the form of a whole carcass. So the first thing we have to do is get rid of the head. Next, with a fillet knife along the ridge, we cut off the first fillet. Now we separate the ridge from the second half of the fish. We take out the small bones, and we cut off the last bones, the ribs. If you use a sirloin knife, you will lose less meat. All that's left is to just cut off the skin. And now we're left with perfectly clean fillets, just like tuna, are cut into cubes. We do the same thing with the second fillet. Put some salt on the gastric capacity. Then spread out the pieces of salmon. Salt it on top. Now we'll distribute the fillets on all sides, and pop that also into the fridge. By the way, there still is some meat left on the ridge of the salmon, so throwing away the red fish would be simply blasphemy. Therefore, we remove the leftovers with a teaspoon. Add a little bit of salt and mix. And the last one is white halibut sea fish. It is much easier to carve than salmon, so we'll cut off the fins with scissors. Next, we remove the abdomen. There was a very thin layer of meat in this place, and it doesn't really suit us. We make an incision exactly in the middle. Bending the knife, cut off the fillet. Halibut has perfectly smooth bones, and they serve as guides for the knife. Now we remove the fillet from the second side. In the same way, driving the knife along the bones. Turn over to the other side and continue to carve. This way my hand was used a little bit better, so it turned out much faster. Got it. From the bones, we also remove the remains of the meat. And we put the leftovers in with the salmon leftovers. And add a little bit more salt. And mix it up, and let it salt. And the halibut fillet can only be removed from the skin. Well, now it's just perfect. Cut into cubes. Put some salt in the gastric capacity. Add in the fish. Now we complete the standard procedure by rolling it in salt. Cover it up with the lid and pop it in the fridge. Five hours later, our fish is salted. And as we can see, the salt has pulled out the excess moisture from it. So let's go over to the sink. Now we need to wash off the remaining salt from each piece of tuna. And pop it on paper towels. This should be done with each piece of tuna. And also, we will walk with paper towels on top to remove excess moisture as much as possible. The exact same procedure will be required for the salmon and the halibut. And now it's time to mix the meat glue. To do this, we use the coldest possible water so that there are no lumps. This wooden box will serve as a form for us. We line the food film inside, and we start assembling the fish roll. We lay out first a piece of halibut, glaze it with the meat glue, then we have a piece of tuna, more meat glue, and a piece of salmon. The main thing is to not skimp on the glue so that the roll doesn't disintegrate later. And so as we continue, alternate colors. And if a piece of fish is torn, then it can be glued back without any problem. When the first layer is laid out, we lubricate the top with a thick layer of the meat glue, and we continue to fill out the mold. Put the film back inside the box. Then the board goes on top. And on top of this, a good press from above. I have 10 kilograms of sugar, so we'll put this all in the fridge. It will take as long as 24 hours to fully glue together. Pour the remaining meat glue over the small piece of salmon and halibut. Mix it up. And here we'll fill up this pyramid shape with the mixture. Turn this all over. And let this refrigerate all day as well. 24 hours have passed, so let's take the roll out of the mold. To do this, open up the film. Put a grate on top and turn it over. That's it, now our roll can be easily removed. The film has already fulfilled its function. In my opinion, everything really stuck together perfectly. The next stage is drying, so we send the roll into the oven. By the way, our pyramid has also stuck together. And we'll put this on a grill as well. Now we will put our oven in convection mode at 25 degrees. The roll was just blown by a fan for 8 hours. Now we can take it out. Now the final stage remains, cold smoking. As a smoke chamber, we will use a smoker and put the roll inside. Here, this little smoke generator will help us with the smoke. We'll fill it up with wood chips. Close the lid and screw it on. Plug in the compressor, which will drive the smoke out, and we set fire to the chips. They will constantly smolder and give a uniform smoke. We direct him to the camera with the fish. And now we just wait. We smoked our roll for 18 hours. The next morning, our roll is ready, and so it's time to take it out. Well, let's cut it up and see if everything worked out for us. Yes, not all the squares are even, but in general it looks really beautiful. So let's cut off a piece and try it. This is probably the most delicious thing I've ever eaten made from smoked fish. The salmon and halibut are fatty, but the tuna is denser and balances it all out. It turns out just perfect. So let's cut into our pyramid that we made from the leftovers. It looks really good inside, and all that's left is to try what we made. This is really freaking delicious, but the fish roll is still a bit pricey. So in the comments, try to guess how much money I spent on making this fish roll for you. Whoever answers correctly, I'll like the comment with the channel's account. Bye, everybody.